It's time for another CEX haul, and we are running out of daylight, so I need to get a move on. I hate this time of year. This is frustrating. I'm also going to check my PO box because at this point, with my PO box being so small and the amount of stuff you guys are sending, I need to be checking it like every single day. Well, every single time that I walk past it. The good thing is that the PO box shop is in between where I park and where CEX is, so I can just sort of, do you know what I mean? But as usual, before I head out, let's do a quick stock check of the various different things that I'm after. So we've got Dark Souls Dark Souls Remastered. Although, to be fair, I also do want to buy Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition for PlayStation 3, because I've got the disc, but I've got the original case and not the one I need. See, this is annoying. Newcastle under Lyme, but when I was there the other day, it was the one with the fake cover. So it was the one with the trilogy. Hang on. So clearly what I think people have done is, at some point, I think it was profitable to buy this, because, for example, this goes for like £30 or something along those lines on Amazon. Like, it's pretty cheap. And it contains all 3 games with their DLC and all that sort of thing. Problem is each one of the original games that is in this box set does not have its original front cover, which bothers me. So when people have bought this, broken it apart, and sold it back to CEX separately, now there is an influx of Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3 with the wrong front cover on. I want this front cover for the sake of my collection. And sadly, that looks like it's not going to be very easy to make happen, especially being as none of the CEXs near me have the original front cover, because I know that the one that's at Newcastle under Lyme is not the right front cover. Let's also check out Dark Souls Prepare to Die. £12, that's not crazy. Also nowhere really near me though. I've never been to Bilston, and Burton-on-Trent is about the maximum distance I wanted to travel. The last time I went to Burton-on-Trent, my sat-nav did the thing where the sat-nav's like, yeah, I know that it's only about 3 minutes quicker, but how about we take you down the narrowest, darkest, most floodedest, and that's not a word, lanes that you have ever seen. You know how on a sat-nav you can set it to refuse to take down motorways? I wish there was some sort of opposite of that. I wish there was a way to tell it I only want motorways and A roads, because I hate driving down lanes. Boy racer, I am not. Oh yeah, something else that I'm currently after, just for the sake of getting all of the Souls-likes, is Lords of the Fallen, the original one. You know, the one that they just sort of forgot existed, the one on PlayStation 4, £6. So that's at Canek, so it depends whether you guys are seeing these videos in order or not, because I've recorded lots of videos recently. I don't know. See, on the same topic of Lords of the Fallen, last year, or the year before, I'm losing track now, the developers, Hexworks or whoever it was, for Lords of the Fallen, paid me to do a sponsored post. So they gave me the game for free, they paid me a fee, and I did some videos on Lords of the Fallen. Problem is, I got it digitally, not physically, and obviously I'm a physical kind of guy, so I could see myself at some point buying it physically, just for completion's sake. It's not exactly an uncommon game. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of my local CEXs have got one, so it wouldn't be too difficult to get hold of. Guys, scariest thing in the world just happened. Some of my DVDs moved on their own. Second row down, on the left, a gap just closed that was just perfectly fine to be freestanding. I'm convinced that some of my DVDs are haunted. Given that 90 some odd percent, probably more, like almost all of my DVDs and films and Blu-rays and whatever, given that they're all secondhand and they're all from CEX or whatever, there is an incredibly decently high chance, and kind of spookily so, that these belong to a lot of dead people. Like, I feel like it's pretty common. People die, and then their family members take their media collections to charity shops, cash converters, CEX. They sell it off, because unless you're like me that hoards stuff, like I got all my dead nan stuff, like you're just not keeping things. And due to that, it makes me think, just how many people's stuff do I own that are not alive anymore? Because sometimes, even when I went months without touching the DVDs at all, because the only thing I was collecting was games, they would occasionally move or be further forward out from the shelf than they should have been. And it's like, why has that happened? It's a weird thing, and I would not be surprised if a lot of these belong to dead people. Who knows? Where's Sixth Sense? That could be apt. It shouldn't. It's in there somewhere, I'm sure. One more check before we head out for The Surge 2 as well, which is yet another Souls-like that I'm after, that With Surge 2 and the Lords of the Fallen games, that would mean I've got them all. Tamworth and Derby. So yeah, still nothing. Or at least all of the ones that got a physical release that I would consider a Souls-like anyway. There are definitely like 1,000,001, what's the word? Indie games that probably are Souls-likes, but you know. You know, the worst part about having a sausage dog in this weather is they do not like going outside. It is like 0 degrees, literally 0 degrees. And when she has a little wee, her belly touches the floor and she really doesn't like it, do you, Rubes? Don't you dare chew that tree. We'll chew you. I'll eat you. Ruby. Down. Oi. Leave it. Good girl. Come here. Good girl. You left it alone. Have yourself a big stretch. We're obliged to say big stretch. You want belly rubs? We can give you belly rubs. You are a little moron, aren't you? The lights are on. There is absolutely nobody home. Not a single soul. Nothing. Nothing. Look at you. You're happy, aren't you? Rolling around on the carpet on your socks. That is her ideal day right there. She's just had a nap. I've let her out for a nap. She's having some big stretches. Now she's going to play with a ball. She's going to go roll around near the ball on her back. This is a sign of a happy dog. Just rolling around, buy her toys and buy some socks. Ain't you, Rubes? You're not going to be happy though, because I need to take you outside for a wee where it's really cold. Come here. Come on. Come up here. I've got a sock for you. With you. It's up here. Come get it. Yeah, I thought so. Kill that sock. Silly Rubes. Bloody freezing. Absolutely bloody freezing. Took me ages to get here too, because for some reason there was an old biddy on a mobility scooter, like the same sort of mobility scooter that you could like hire to do your shop at Tesco. Like I used to have to put them back when the old biddies were done with them. It was brilliant fun. But there was one of them in the road because I was at a green light and we were in a queue and I was like, I don't see any cars further than like 3 vehicles ahead. Why are we not moving? And then I like managed to peek round and just get a view of this one very narrow, very low to the floor old granny on a mobility scooter. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that's supposed to be on the road. Like, I've seen them before where they have got like 4 wheels and a reg, and they're, I suppose, probably legally roadworthy, but this one was definitely not one of them. Anyway, let's go check the PO box. I really hope there's something there, because if there isn't, this video might be a dud and we'll just call it a daily vlog instead of a CEX, or who knows. Let's go. This is the quietest I've seen the town at 3 PM in a while. Because I've said this before, I've got a bit of a curse where for some reason my brain doesn't leave the house unless it's 3 PM or 5 PM. How many times have I done that and it been like crazy busy? I don't do it on purpose. It's just every time I happen to leave the house I look at the clock and oh look, it's school pickup time or work finishing time. Like in a minute I'm going to go on the motorway to somewhere else. Oh dear. Anyway, there's the post and packaging PO box shop up ahead. Let's go check it out. That was strange, guys. So I walked into the PO box shop and she looked at me like pretty sure there was something there. She's like, oh yeah, there's something. Bear in mind, it was only yesterday I last checked. A crackheading? No, not. Just someone shouting. Anyway, and then she looked and she's like, oh no, there wasn't. And I'm like, that's odd. Because I know she's not, I know I'm the only PO box she's got. So it's like, why did you think there was something? You know, maybe she's laundering. Maybe she's like, for every 3 deliveries she takes 1, who knows? Maybe she's got her own little collection she's building. I don't know. Oh well, after CEX we go, let's see if we can pick something up while we're here. I hope so, else this will just become a vlog, rather than a CEX haul or fan mail video. You know town's getting bad when the big issue lady isn't standing in the middle anymore, she's stood on the side on a chair and she's not even shouting. How do they make money? Is somebody paying them? Because they've been doing it since before I was born, I swear to God. In we go, I suppose. In just the space of a few hours, this CEX has had like a bunch of new Pokemon games. I'm convinced all of these cases are fake. In fact, I was so sure, I even asked them and they were like, yeah, definitely fake. We realised they were fake. I was like, actually, good shout, you did. Because look at the prices. The prices of those boxed Pokemon games are the unboxed prices. You only are technically paying for the cartridge, which, you know, we're also assuming the cartridge is real. But like this CEX has now got almost every Pokemon game that has ever been, really. We've definitely got one from pretty much every generation, that's for sure. But it's like, there was the potential for the world's biggest mess up here, looking at it. When you actually think about it, if the member of staff that dealt with this transaction had have accidentally taken those boxed Pokemon games in as boxed prices, they'd have lost hundreds of pounds, because they are easily 3 to 5 times the price of the unboxed versions. Those cardboard boxes, it is incredible just how much value those add to the price of these games. It is pretty nuts that is the case that we live in, but that is pretty much how it is now, and I can't believe it. Once again, I'm looking at all the games, tons and tons of reprinted covers these days. Kind of not surprised. It's becoming I'm encountering more and more reprinted covers recently in almost every CEX that I go to. Granted, it's only been a few days since I last went in, so I wasn't entirely sure I was going to find anything too cool today. There was a few bits and pieces, nothing major. They've definitely got a lot of Call of Duty, that's for sure. Coming over to the PlayStation 3 section. Being real with you, there are some PlayStation 3 games that I would love, but I just do not have the space for. None whatsoever. Shout out to Wayne again, by the way. That Alien Cloning Marines you just saw then was the one that I bought like 2 weeks ago, but he sent me a copy of it. That's Wayne's World of Gaming. So he sent me his copy, so I gave back the one that I bought the other week, and managed to use that to get a couple of Blu-rays, I think. Love you, Wayne. That was a pretty successful haul in the end. I actually got out with like a stack of Blu-rays again. Although apparently that CEX is in trouble today because they've like undersold by like 3 times what they were supposed to. I was talking to them about it. It's interesting hearing the behind-the-scenes stuff. Imagine being judged on your day-to-day sales in a big corporate shop like that. You'd think it'd be like weekly, monthly, quarterly, something like that. Like, somebody had been trading in an entirety of one franchise, I'm pretty sure. And to be fair, yesterday I kind of helped them. But I bought like 6 things that belong to the same franchise today, which is kind of another franchise complete, almost nearly, sort of. I'll show you when we get home. See you there. Time for us to go through what I got from CEX today. Like I said, I went to the PO Box shop. Nothing today. I think I'm going to go back to checking just once a week rather than checking like every time I walk past it. I feel like if I check once a week, there's always probably going to be something there, and if there's more things delivered through the week, then at least there's like a larger package to pick up, and it makes for a better content when it comes to unboxing more stuff all in one go. So let's show you what I got. Like I said, no games today, but a pretty decent stack of Blu-rays, and some of them are pretty cool. Let me show you what I got. So first of all, I got Hereditary, which I would say is probably one of the better horror films that has come out in the last 15 whatever years. It's an interesting one because I feel like it's earned itself a bit of a reputation in the same way that like Wolf of Wall Street has, in being a little bit of a meme, where Wolf of Wall Street is like a finance bros first recommendation 100% of the time, whereas like Hereditary is like a horror bros recommendation 100% of the time. But yeah, pretty cool. And then this is where the cool stuff happens, like I said, completing sets of things. So I've got Batman from 1989, Batman Returns from 1992, Batman Forever from 1995, Batman and Robin from 1997. These look like they've come out of some sort of set to me, and it's pretty cool. I didn't mind getting them individually because the other day I already owned this that had the 4 of them, right? And then I already got those on Blu-ray, so that makes sense. Good. Didn't cock up there. Well done me. But you see this gap here? That was the Superman films that were on regular DVD that I've now replaced with Blu-rays. And this gap is too big. So having these take up more space when they're separated isn't a problem. That's a win for me. Next up, after Batman and Robin, we've got Man of Steel, because apparently I didn't own that on Blu-ray. And it's, you know, a cool case. Justice League, and Batman vs. Superman at Dawn of Justice, which I think is the correct one. Yeah, so Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, then we just need these ones as well. Okay, cool. The superhero shelf on Blu-ray mode is coming together. So that's what? How many new Blu-rays today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new Blu-rays from one CEX. That's a win. Calling that a win. Love you, Stafford CEX. Anyway, I desperately need to tidy up this room. So wish me luck on that one, and I will see you guys later. Do be sure to follow and subscribe, all that sort of thing. I need to remember to do that call to action.